Okay. Good day, everyone. Nice to have you here. We're going to our second speaker. Our second speaker will be talking to us about quality education and the workplace. Our second speaker is the Managing Director of Learmond-Criqui International. It's my pleasure, distinguished participants, to welcome our speaker for this segment, Janice Learmond-Criqui. You have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Julius, for that warm welcome. I want to start off with a quote, which basically says, Bitcoin is being viewed as a form of currency worldwide. Soft skills is a form of currency in organizations. Now is the time to invest in yourself and gain job opportunities and promotions. The same way that Bitcoin is being viewed as a form of currency worldwide, with some investors becoming overnight millionaires, it is the same view that soft skills is being viewed today as a form of currency in organizations. Are you prepared to invest in soft skills training to gain the job opportunities, promotions, or to have the skills required to start your own business? The UN Sustainable Development Goals covers various aspects of sustainable development, including social, economic, and environmental sustainability. The quality education component, also referred to as SDG 4, is critical to achieving these goals, focusing on ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all. Providing quality education for all is fundamental to creating a peaceful and prosperous world. I want to highlight number 4.7 of the SDG 4 targets, which starts off by saying, by 2030, ensure that all... What is that, Josephine?
Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you during the... By 2030, ensure that all learners acquire the knowledge and skills needed to promote sustainable development. If I was a member of the committee that created 4.7 of the SDG 4 target, I would have suggested the following. By 2030, ensure that all learners acquire technical or vocational knowledge and the soft skills needed to promote sustainable development. With artificial intelligence starting to make its footprint felt all around the world, for example, 100 million users of ChatGPT in 2 months, there is a need to provide quality education to soft skills because not only is it going to make a great impact in our personal lives, but also as we are human, we have to interact with each other if we want to promote a culture of peace and sustainable development. Even though the UN encourages the integration of sustainability into all levels of education, from primary school to university, it means teaching students about the importance of sustainable development, the impact of human activities on the environment, and the need to protect natural resources. They need to go further in promoting soft skills to be taught. After all, the aim is to educate and train the current and the future generation of leaders who will drive the sustainability development goals. Soft Skills AHA, an accredited educational institution in the US, has identified 10 skills. There are Three of them that I would like to focus on, and they are considered to be essential for quality education and thriving in the workplace successfully. The first soft skill is communication. So how do you define communication? I noticed that communication came up quite regularly in some of the presentations. You know that communication is the ability to convey information clearly and effectively, both verbally and in writing. Communication is essential for students to express their ideas, ask questions, and engage in group discussions. In the workplace, you understand that communication is critical for building relationships, resolving conflicts, and delivering presentations. How would you achieve, try to thrive using the communication skill? You have to develop three abilities. One, achieve listening, which involves paying attention to what others are saying, asking questions, and responding appropriately. Two, use simple words when talking to colleagues. Avoid jargon or technical terms that others may not understand. Three, practice empathic communication, which involves understanding and responding to the needs and concerns of others. By measuring these communication abilities, or mastering, you can become a better listener, a more effective communicator, and a valuable asset to any team. Communication skills are essential in every aspect of life, from social to professional environments. Being able to understand others' perspectives on the goals of sustainable development and respond appropriately can help create a harmonious work environment. The second skill is teamwork. Sometime in your career, I'm sure, you would have had the opportunity to work with several people. Teamwork enables individuals to work effectively and efficiently in a team setting. It involves the ability to work collaboratively with others, share ideas and knowledge, and contribute to achieving common goals. Some key components of teamwork that you would have encountered are: 1, communication. There we go again. 2, collaborating with others. 3, you would have had to be flexible and adaptable. 4, with remote working not working out for everyone, there would have been conflicts that needed to be resolved constructively. You would have had to practice empathy, which would have helped to build trust and collaboration. Does this resonate with you? I remember during COVID, when remote working became mandatory, and teamwork played a major role in getting projects completed within the timeline. The third soft skill is critical thinking. The current and future generation need to be encouraged to embrace critical thinking if the sustainability goals are going to be achieved. They must have the ability to analyze information and come up with well-reasoned conclusions, which involves being able to identify assumptions, evaluate evidence, and consider alternative perspectives. A critical thinker will recognize that solving problems in the workplace and decision-making is a way of life for successful personal relationships. What are some components of critical thinking that you can develop? 1, breaking down complex information into smaller parts and examining them individually. 2, assessing the quality and relevance of the information. 3, drawing logical conclusions from information. 4, understanding and explaining the meaning of information. 5, willingness to consider alternative ideas. By developing these components of critical thinking, you can improve your ability to make sound decisions, solve complex problems, and communicate effectively with others. Soft skills play a critical role in diplomacy, which involves negotiating and communicating with individuals or groups from different cultures, backgrounds, and perspectives. Head of state and diplomats must be adept at building relationships, creating and maintaining trust, and finding common ground with people who may have differing opinions and interests. For effective diplomacy, soft skills are critical. And once head of state and diplomats possess these skills, they are more likely to build strong relationships, resolve conflicts, and achieve successful outcomes in their negotiations and communications. Finally, I want to share with you how businesses have come full circle back to the human element and how they are going to be communicating. All employees are going to have to be trained in soft skills. Why do I say that? Quick story. I had to do a Soft Skills Pro online program with Soft Skills AHA in the US just recently. And before I could start the program, I had to complete an assessment. Being a soft skills trainer for years, I thought this should be easy for me. Well, I got the shock of my life. I got a score of 44%. I thought I was knowledgeable about soft skills despite practicing soft skills every day. When chatting with the moderator, she said, "Jan, most people get a score in the 20% range. But now that you are doing the course, you will do well. Despite age and experience, there is a need to do a training program just to ensure that we truly understand the topics considered to be soft skills." Have you heard of a website called Minds On? When I was doing some research, I came across this site which talked about 2B2, 2BC, and 2BP. How many people on this conference have heard of these acronyms and what they stand for? 2B2 means business to business. 2BC means business to consumer. And 2BP means business to people. The 2BP caught my attention as the word person was now being used after the B2 letter and the number 2. The foundation of B2P means transcending the fundamentals of B2C and B2B by recognizing the human being to be at the center of the buying process. This means placing emphasis on the unique goals, pains, preferences, and habits of the human being, whether for personal or professional consumption. In the business world, organizations are now considering a B2P approach to their B2B strategy. This allows a company to gain a deeper, detailed consumer insight to provide more relevant and effective content. In my opinion, the customer is now being treated as a human being and not just a dollar bill. A person's persona highlights their preference, challenges, and aspirations so that a company can communicate more effectively and on a human level just by having a conversation with people via social media or using a chatbot on the company's website. Having a human touch element will mean that content will have to be more personalized, and there will have to be a more genuine connection between the company and the customer. Overall, quality education is a critical component of achieving the other UN SDGs, and efforts must be made to ensure that education is accessible, inclusive, and aligned with the goals of sustainable development. Soft skills need to be integrated into educational systems, including curricula, teaching methods, and materials. It is critical that the teachers for the various education levels are trained also in soft skills. This means providing education that is centered on the 10 top soft skills highlighted by Soft Skills AHA in the US for middle school, high school, professionals, and teachers, which are critical thinking, problem solving, leadership, communication, diversity and cultural awareness, service awareness, time management, attitude, character, etiquette, service excellence, and teamwork, with a focus on sustainable development and social justice. The company also published a book called Soft Skills for Dummies last year. So it shows their progressive thinking in providing relevant information on soft skills. Now we will have a questions and answer section. And during this session, I will have my contact information up in the event that anyone would like to contact me to talk a bit more about how they or their organizations can get access to soft skills training. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Janice, for your riveting presentation. Yes, what I'm hearing is adaptability. We need to be adaptable to soft skills because we more focus on the harder skills. So we do our degrees, we do our masters, but then we do not realize the importance of soft skills and what they're needed in today's world. So to have someone come and present on soft skills is, very touching at this point in time. And it tied in so nicely with our first speaker, because we had to be mindful of how we dress, and not only, as you started off rightfully, with communication. Communication is not only verbally, but nonverbal. Our dressing also ties in with how we communicate with others. So soft skills really needed within our environment, our current environment right now, where we're mainly on social media and we're meeting people through various social settings. So yes, it is, quite essential at this point in time. If anyone has any questions, you can nicely put them in the chat, or you can raise your hand and let us know what you're thinking. You can give your congratulations to Janice on her presentation as well in the chat. Also, I did not put into our settings. Please be mindful of having your mics on, because it does interrupt our presenters as they present. Any questions from our attendees?
Hi, it's not so much a question. Hi, it's more, Tammy, it's not so much a question, but a statement that soft skills are not just for humans. You can also use it with your dogs and your cats. So therefore, it actually has multi-purpose uses. Soft skills, how you deal with your dogs, getting them to not do what they are doing, to get them to come to you and do things. It's a psychology, and I know some people will think, what is Josephine talking about? But how we speak to our pets can also influence their behavior. So soft skills are not just for humans, it's also for the dogs, the cats, the parakeets. Back to you.
Yes, so true, Josephine. But I find some persons generally do their softer skills with our pets rather than with humans. So yeah.
I hear you, and I'm one of those.
Let's see. All right.
Another thing I'd like to mention, if you don't mind, as in my time. Long ago, we used to foster the village concept, meaning that the neighborhood would assist in teaching soft skills to the children of their friends and neighbors. But seeing that parents now have to hold down 2 and 3 jobs, and some people live at great distances from grandparents now, you find that the teaching of soft skills to young children is dying. And this is one of the reasons why we are suggesting that it needs to be incorporated into the educational system. So at least they will pick it up somewhere instead of waiting until they become adults to have to go and now train to learn the soft skills. That is so important.
Yeah. Especially in our side of the region, Janice.
Yes, that is so true, so true.
So thank you once more again, Janice, for that presentation. It was a very lovely presentation and tied exactly in with Marita's presentation. So thank you once more again.
Well, thanks to all the comments that I'm getting, seeing that it was a very good presentation.
Janice, before you go, can you take this last question?
Yes, of course.
Somebody says from Louis, when dealing with a very difficult individual, let's say somebody that is toxic, how do you stay loyal to soft skills?
If you're dealing with someone who's toxic, you just practice your skills, meaning you observe the etiquette. Good morning, or even saying, wow, that is a really pretty dress or shirt that you're wearing today. You know, or if they do something that is worthwhile or credible in their job, then you say, good job. I really appreciate, your help, or I really appreciate it. You have to show appreciation to the individual because, like it or not, I don't care who you are. You could be royalty, you could be a head of state, I don't care. They all love secretly to be appreciated. And once you show that person the respect and appreciation that they're secretly yearning for, because they may not be getting it at home, you will find that their attitude to you in particular will change. And they will say to themselves, that person is such a nice person. And they will always remember you, even if they leave the job. Because you never know where you're going to bounce them up again. They might be the one interviewing you for a job in the future. But because of how you treated them, they will hire you because they would have experienced the way you practice your soft skills. So just show that appreciation and recognition of them, and most important, respect. Does that answer your question, Julius?
That was actually a question from Brian.
Oh, Brian. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Great. Well,
if I may, Janice, quickly,
yes,
I hear you. What about if you're in a situation, in a meeting or a negotiation or a situation where somebody is being extremely toxic, difficult, mean even? I mean, I'm sure we all experience that. It could be somebody who's carrying unconscious bias, etc. How do you navigate around such a scenario?
What you would do is, and again, respectfully, the first thing you will do is smile, because you're indicating to that person that you recognize where they're coming from. The second thing is you start to ask questions, and questions like, can you explain that a bit more? Why do you think how that will work? You start and you get them to start talking and to explain more in depth why they are coming up with that approach. But you do it in a manner that is non-aggressive. And also you will find that other members around the table will follow your lead by asking the necessary questions. And once the individual who is being toxic recognizes that they are perhaps coming across in a manner that is causing all these questions to be coming at them, then they will probably tone it down. It's just to make them understand that we just need more explanation. We need you to be more detailed in explaining why it is that you have this point of view, because remember, we are going to encounter it and we have to be prepared in order to treat with it in a manner that allows that individual to recognize that we are showing them the respect, and they also would, in a follow-up meeting, not come across so aggressive. So Brian, seeing that you are from Trinidad.
Thank you very much.
You can always give me a call to further discuss if you need any further help.
Yes, networking, Janice, networking.
Nice.
Okay. So we're going to take one more question, and this question is going to come from Donatus. So you're going to be our last question, and then we're going to wrap up.
Okay.
John. So go ahead, Donatus. Or is your hand a legacy hand? Okay, so I'm not hearing him. So thank you once more again, Janice, for your presentation.
Yes, well, my contact information was up. So if Donatus does have a question, it would be very easy for him to contact me. I love when people contact me. I love talking to people. Okay.
Yes,
So
or he can
Can you hear me?
Oh,
there
yes,
is.
we can.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, finally, yeah, good presentation, very technical. My question is, how can you use soft skills to strike balance for language barriers?
Language barrier.
Yes.
Okay, communication. I discovered, now is this a language in terms of a foreign person talking to another foreign person?
Correct.
Right. I discovered a phone app, which is fabulous. What it did was I spoke my question or my statement into the phone, and the phone translated to that individual what I said. And we had a roaring conversation using this app. And the person was able to understand what the information I was trying to get across to them, because I just couldn't speak the language. So perhaps what you should do is to explore an app for your phone that you can use to comfortably have a conversation with someone, and ask the permission of the person first, whether it can be used in the negotiation or the meeting or whatever. And I think it makes a big, big difference. And it puts the other person, it makes the person relax when they realize that what they are trying to get across is now being fully understood by the other individual. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, yes. But the app you are talking about, can you also tell us so that we can also install it in our?
It's a Google. It's I think it's Google language.
Or Google language? Okay.
Yes, or translator.
Okay.
Just if you go to the Play Store, just Google, you know, translator or translation app. It will give you a whole series. So you just find the best one that works well for your phone. But I think the one for Google is excellent.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.